What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you're new. I'm Mark. What's good with y'all? Go check out my other videos. Check them out. Check them out. But first, stay on this one. I think this is kind of an important topic that we don't really get to discuss too much in the, in the Second Amendment community or in the gun community, right? And before y'all keep commenting, I know I need to get the backdrop. I need to get it all done. I know. I already ordered. It's on the way. It's on the way. Relax. All right. So. Excuse me. So, you read the title, you saw the thumbnail, let's get into it. This is my opinion on comparing cheap guns to expensive guns. And here's why I bring it up, all right? So, for example, we'll take, my dagger right here. Clear. Solid Glock clone. It cost me maybe at most $350. You know what I mean? Now, that's not, of course, including mags, ammo, shit like that, whatever. But, pretty cheap gun. It's a Glock clone. It's based off the Gen 3 model, which is the most proven model. Of course, we're talking, come on now. So we're talking about something that's, supposed to run pretty decent, right? Now, when I bring up something like this, or even, for example, I'll take, my Taurus G2C is a perfect example. I actually have it right here on my hip, but we'll take that as an example, right? So when I bring up how, okay, yeah, this is a great gun, especially for the price, it's reliable, it's cheap, you know what I mean? It does its job. People are like, oh, yeah, well, of course, you only have to go to cheap guns. I'm just shooting, 2011s over here. I'm just shooting fucking these most expensive guns out there. And here's the thing. Yeah, that's great that you have those. It's great that you're shooting them. Congratulations. Good for you, bro. You know what I mean? No one is saying that these cheaper guns are better than your insanely expensive Gucci'd out guns. As a matter of fact, I'm not saying that at all in any way, shape, or form. What I am more so saying is that for the price range, it works phenomenally. And I hear people making these arguments to me, and I think, wow, these people got to be stupid. They want to compare something that, for example, we'll take my G2C. As I said, I spent $275 on, not expensive at all, and compare it to something like a fucking Staccato P. That's $2,500. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, yeah, sure, buddy. No shit, Sherlock. Your Staccato is going to work a lot better. As a matter of fact, I will tell you that for a fact. Your Staccato will. You know what I mean? Yeah, there's no doubt about it. However, what I can also say is that my shit is also reliable. It's not to sit here and say, oh, this is the best gun in the world, oh, all this other stuff. And I think that's where people have this weird complex about, oh, yeah, well, if I paid more for my gun, that means I know more about guns and all this other stuff. That's not necessarily what it means. Some people can say that it is a reliable gun just because it's a reliable gun. Now, let's take an example. I have a list of guns that I plan on getting just because I got bored and was like, you know what? I gotta, you know what I mean? One of them is FNX 45. You know what I mean? Solid gun. From what I saw, it's about 1,500, maybe 14, right? So, yeah, it's a great gun. It's expensive. It's over $1,000. Some people might not look at that as super expensive. However, I am 22. So let's keep that in mind, guys. I'm obviously not rich. I'm not wealthy in no way, shape, or form. But it better fucking function. It better be reliable. From what I've seen, it's a great gun. And for $1,500, yeah, it better be. However, that's not to say that another gun I can get that can be cheaper also won't be reliable. You know what I mean? I hate when people bring this argument up because it's like comparing apples to oranges. Like, no shit, Sherlock, they're very different. We'll take another example. We'll take my AR. I got it from Palmetto State Armory. Has never malfunctioned on me, not once. Now, granted, I will say I put maybe 400 or 500 rounds through it. You know what I mean? Not a lot of rounds, not by any standard. And 500 is on the high end. So let's get that out the way. We'll take my G2C, though. I put plenty of rounds through that. The last time I went shooting, I believe I put at least 350 just in that one day. And, of course, we shot a bunch of other guns. But regardless, not the point. my point though is that it is 100% reliable. It has never malfunctioned on me. You know what I mean? Now people will hear that and they're like, "Oh, so you're saying that your AR is the best type of AR out there?" What? No, what I'm saying is I spent maybe $700 at most. And I don't even, actually, you know what? I can't even say I spent $700 because the charging handle was a gift from my fiance. So, just saying. But my whole point is that I spent maybe $600 on the on this AR, and people jump to, oh, he's saying it's the best AR out there. No, not by any standard, not in any way, shape, or form. All right. However, it is reliable, and you're going to see a recurring theme here of that. Yeah, I'm agreeing here. It's not the best. I'm not saying in any capacity that these guns that I have reviewed so far are the best out there. Now, if we're going to sit here and argue, oh yeah, well, why do you talk like some of them are? Well, I mean, some of them I can think are the best. Like, for example, we'll take Glock, right? I think Glock is one of the best brands out there. Why? Because they have always been reliable. You know what I mean? That's just how it works. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that, oh, yeah, well, Glock is better than, these high-end fucking 2011s, these high-end competition pistols. Like, there's a bunch of other guns that are out there that are better than Glock, of course. However, that's not to discredit the fact that a Glock is extremely reliable. And that's the problem. When you sit here and compare super expensive guns to cheap guns or even normal price guns, you're like sitting here saying, no, everybody's looking at you like, yeah, no duh. No shit, Sherlock. Like somebody tried really making an argument with me. Oh yeah, well, I just shoot Benelli M4s. You just have your Mossberg Maverick 88s. Good for you, bro. I'm gonna get a Benelli M4 sometime soon. It's not gonna be like close to soon. It's not in my near future plans. You know what I mean? And I'll give y'all an update in the next, I don't know, few months on why. However, it is something that I am gonna get eventually. However, until then, I have my Maverick 88, which is perfectly reliable. You see what I mean? So when people make that argument, it sounds so stupid on their ends. It seems like they're just trying to impose the fact, oh yeah, well, I spent more on my shit. Okay. Cool, I guess. We don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit personally. Like, let me put it like this. People argue, oh yeah, well, I spent $2,600 on this gun. Okay, and I bet you money right now, if you tried returning it, you're going to get, I don't know, 800, 900 back on it, which honestly seems like a lot too, to be real, to get back on that. Now, think about it like this. When they resell it, they're not going to resell it full price. They're going to sell it for about, $1,000 off of what you paid for, considering what the price is. And look at that. Someone like me comes in, oop, I get that 1,000 off. You're playing yourself. You know what I mean? People don't realize that I don't give a shit how much you spent on your gun. I care what the gun is. Guns are dope. I like all guns pretty much. You know what I mean? There's certain guns like the P320 and shit that I am not fans. No, I'm not a big fan of, obviously. However, you know what I mean? I don't give a shit what you spend on your guns, guys. I don't. I personally don't. And if you can find good deals, take them. You know why? Because guns are expensive. People want to sit there and they want to try, oh yeah, well, that's because you're broke. Okay, so the fuck what, bro? Do you realize the inflation rate is right now? Come on now. Quit playing with me. If I'm not, yeah, bro, you stupid. You know what I mean? So when you sit there and compare, oh yeah, well, I had to spend this much money on my gun, which makes it a million times better. Look, I'm sure there was a lot more work put into these guns that are a lot more expensive. I'm sure there's reason for it. I'm not disagreeing with that. However, to sit there and make the statement of, oh yeah, well, it's obvious, like it's a lot better than your gun. No shit, Sherlock. We know that, bro. We know that. It just seems stupid to have to sit there and say that on your end. Like, it really does. It feels like you're having to overcompensate for how much you spent on it when we just wanted to get something that's cheap and reliable. Now, with that being said, I'm not hating on people who go out and buy expensive guns. I mean, I can pull up some guns on my list right now that, all in all, we're looking at 8. I could pull up 4 guns on my list right now, and the total cost for them would be about $10,000. So I'm not against buying expensive guns, guys. I have expensive guns on my list to buy because they're fucking cool. They're awesome. There's a good reason for why they're so expensive because of how dope they are. So I'm not sitting here hating on the people who buy those expensive guns. I'm hating on the people who sit there and don't use the brain power enough to think, oh yeah, well, I spent all this money on these expensive guns, so I know they're great. This guy's saying this gun that's super cheap is great. So we're good. Like, if you're not doing that shit, it's, you know, you kind of look stupid. If you're sitting here saying, oh yeah, well, I need to express how much my $2,000 more expensive gun is and yours is so much better. Yeah, we know that. We're perfectly aware of that, and good for you, buddy. You just look stupid. You look like you're having to overcompensate for your purchase. No one's telling you have to justify your purchase, bro. All right, no one's saying that your shit is unreliable. No one's saying any of these things. You're the only one who's coming up with that in response to somebody else saying that a cheaper gun is also reliable in certain situations. Certain cheaper guns are solidly reliable. I can't think of one malfunction I've had with my G2C, actually. I mean, I might be missing one, you know, who knows? I'm pretty sure I've talked about malfunctions I've had in my other guns, you know, things like that in other videos. Go ahead and check that out. You know, who knows? But it just seems obvious and just kind of, you know, extra to have to point that out, that yeah, we're all perfectly aware of that. Dude, I have a $3,000 AK on my list of guns that I want to get. All right, so I guarantee you right now that AK is going to work a lot better than the AK that I'm going to be getting pretty fucking soon, actually. Sorry, I've only been up for a couple hours. I'm still on my first energy drink. I'm still trying to wake the hell up. Still trying to get moving. But I'm happy to get a video in for y'all today. I look forward to maybe getting another 1 or 2 in today for y'all. So be ready for that. Y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all. And because you agree with me, comparing expensive guns to cheap guns is innately stupid. Why? Because we know expensive guns are going to be better than the cheap guns. We're not saying that. However, what we are saying is some cheap guns work solidly well, especially for their price. If you agree with me on that, go ahead and make sure to, make sure to check out all my other videos. And then, you know what? Hold on. Something I almost forgot because it's been a while. I'll make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous, and have a good one, y'all. Peace.